Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, a brand new day. It is 8:34, and inside of the pocket of my shirt, I, of course, have a small living being, a tiny creature, of a handful of rodent. A literal, he's like a wad of rodent. He fits perfectly in my hand like this. But this is little Thigmo. He's a sweetheart, and he really is. I mean, he's calmed down a lot, and he's a thick boy. He's really a thick boy. As you can see, what looks like his hips, where he's widest, is actually where his knees are, and his hips are way back where he's thinner. But oh, he's trying to eat my thing. But he's a sweetheart, so I'm going to put him back in his cage. He actually came out. I opened up his lid, the big lid, the major lid, and he came out of his cage to see what was going on. So I picked him up. But he's been really good, really a sweetheart. He's not as nervous. He is nervous, but not as nervous. So he's a sweetheart, and I'm gonna put him back. He's very clean and fastidious for a hamster because they don't mind their rodent odors. I mean, when you have like essence of hamster that washes over you if you open up a door where it's like you go, oh, I need to change that bad, your actual hamsters don't mind. So if you're doing it for cleanliness sake, of course, I'm not talking about just the filth and all that. I'm just saying like essence of hamster. But he's very clean and fastidious. The box that he came in, when they put him in a box so I could bring him from the store, he's still in that. He's chewed out a hole on the top and some holes on the side, but he's dragged bedding inside of there with tissue and aspen, and he's got a little nest inside of there. And when he has to go to the bathroom, well, when he has to urinate, he comes out into one of the corners and he urinates there, and then he just goes back into his house. Now, hamsters don't mind their droppings, and hamster droppings, as long as you don't break them, they're fine. They just dry up and then they're a dropping. It's clean for what they are, and so because they're clean, hamsters just spit them out everywhere, and so periodically, when I clean the rest of the cage, I have to empty out his house because he fills it up with all of his little hamster droppings. But there's no scent or anything to them. They're just little dried up black things. That happens. Thumbs up for that. But he's a good little guy. He's really active right now. He's attacking his water bottle, and that's a good thing. Little Gojira down there, she's very active, very cool. She's a very inquisitive little hamster. She's absolutely wonderful that way. And of course, I've still got Dr. Snurf against the wall, who's still doing okay. He's a really good little guy. He's become just a little bit more nervous as he's gotten older. And of course, there's Saber/Cream, and she's just doing great. I've got her a disc wheel, and she runs on the disc whenever she's awake. And little Dr. Snurf, he's got a wheel that he runs on. The only one that really doesn't have anything to exercise on is little Thigmo here. And I do have a spare wire one. It's just I don't like the wire ones because they can get bumblefoot, which is I've forgotten the word again, but it's staph. They get a staph infection, basically cellulitis, and that's not good. It hurts to get cellulitis, and so they swell up and turn red, and it hurts to walk on when they do that. So that's why you don't really want to use the wire mesh ones. I do have a different cage that maybe not cage, one of those silent wheels still. After the last little guy I had using that one, it got kind of messy because he liked to get into it, store his food in it, pee in it, and then run in it. And if I took his food out of there, he'd put it all back in and do it all again. So I don't know what on earth, it got really nasty inside of that wheel, and after he passed, I've just not cleaned it. I still got it sitting in a box, but I just So I finally, if I guess I pressure wash that or run it through the dishwasher maybe, then I could get that all fixed up and give it to one of these two instead of using one of the wire mesh wheels. But even a mesh wheel, especially if I can use something to tape, I've thought about this, is like I've got cardboard because I buy cat food for my cat, and in between the layers of cans is cardboard sheets. You just take those cardboard sheets, tape them somehow to the inside of the wheel, and then they could be running on the cardboard part, which would be so much better than running on the wire mesh. So I've still got that I'm working on, and that would definitely help them. I mean, even something as simple as like cut down those popsicle stick things you can buy for crafts. You just glue them to the the inside of the wheel, and then make sure they're cut down so that they don't get caught and stopped on the spokes. So even that would work. Those are good ideas. I do have a glue gun somewhere. I'll have to check on that, because that would be good. They need to exercise, they need to run, they need to do that stuff. Even little Gojira, she's pretty active, and I mean, not right now, I was just looking at her cage, but even that, she needs something to exercise in too. Everybody needs a wheel. And the weird thing is on that one too, just as a weird aside, there was this one biologist who wanted to check on, do wild animals use wheels? Because we know our pets do, they run on wheels, but what about wild animals? And so in a part of her garden, she set up a safe enclosure. So it wasn't just out in the middle of the wild, they had to get into the safe area. And then there was a wheel set up with a motion camera and all that. And she wanted to see who would come up and use the wheel. And wow, mega animals did. Rodents, all sorts of mice, rats, squirrels, they would run on the wheel, just run and run and run. And then they'd leave, and then another animal would come up. Toads and stuff came up and sat on the wheel. It was amazing. Everything out in the wild was like, hey, this is really nice, and used it. So it's not just our domesticated animals that like to do things. I mean, they were doing things, and it was for fun. They knew they weren't going anywhere. You know, they knew they were staying right there. They could tell that they weren't going anywhere. They know how to travel, and yet still for fun, they were just coming in and running on the wheel. Pretty awesome, I think. And of course, my apologies. I just ramble. I don't really talk about anything important. And in fact, I usually kick myself as soon as I'm done recording, because there's all sorts of stuff that I do want to talk about rather desperately. And then I turn on the webcam and ramble for 20 minutes. And then when I'm done, I realize I haven't said anything that I wanted to say. Walking, they have discovered, here's kind of what goes on. They have discovered when you walk through a doorway, that flicks a switch inside of your head. If you have a list of stuff you want to buy in a store, I am so sorry. God, I talked and then I was doing so well, and now I've got to clear my throat so much. But they have found that if you do not write a list and you walk through a door to go to a store, you will forget. You forget when you walk through doors. It clicks a switch inside of our heads where we forget what we're thinking about and we start new thoughts. It is a literal opening and shutting of doors. They have also found that it's not even just real physical doors, but that happened to people who pass through virtual doors. Odds above. Pass through virtual doors while playing games like Doom. So imagine how much further they've figured all these things out. I mean, that's rather amazing. So no wonder we forget stuff all the time. You will find, especially as you get older, you more and more often wander into a room and then go, why did I come in here? And then you got to possibly trace your steps all the way back to where you started from on the other side of the house and then go, okay, I wanted to pick this thing up. And then you go all the way back. That will happen with increasing frequency. But one of the reasons that it happens is all the physical doors you pass through in a domicile to get to where you're going. By the time you got there, you've passed through a lot of thought kill switches. And it's not something you can really control. I mean, there's little memory tricks, of course, you can work on. And I've gotten better myself at it, but still, it's where I have to literally concentrate hard when passing through a door if I have a list of stuff I want to pick up at the store, because otherwise, the minute I walk through, I'm going, I need eggs, bacon, and lettuce. And then eggs, bacon, and lettuce, which is the way you would really count, unless you're counting to W. But 1, 2, and 3. Eggs, bacon, and lettuce. And then I walk through that door and I've forgotten everything that I need. I'll just wander and see if I remember what it is if I see it. But that's the way life is. And on walkies last night, I power walked. Really power walked hard, went on a 7-mile round trip. Usually what I do if I just do a 7-mile is I'll start at where I am in southern Shelton, go to the top of Olympic Highway up on, if you know Shelton, there's Arcadia and Olympic Highway. I start there and go all the way down into town, and then I walk up over into Walmart, and then back from Walmart back through town, and then usually by then I just go to my home. But this time I started from my home, went into downtown Shelton, up into northern Shelton, Walmart, back downtown, but then I did the loop upward to the top of Olympic Highway and then back down into southern Shelton. So I was feeling pretty, what is the word? Oh my gosh, I must have walked through a mental door. But I was feeling pretty full of myself. So by the time I got back, almost done for the 6-mile, I just went, I'm going up to the top, and spun it on up there, and I was doing pretty good. It was chilly, and that's a good thing, which always helps. If I have to walk in warm weather, I don't walk far, and I'm so sleepy. But when I'm chill, just slightly above uncomfortably cold, my body works wonderfully. Just zooms and booms, and it's a very good thing. Now, what was the stuff I was thinking about? More just the story ideas that I've had. I talked about the big meta-arcing over fiction thing on these one stories. This other section of stories that I have where it's kind of a Lovecraftian horror type thing, and then our universe is just one of trillions upon trillions of universes, and not in a multiverse of sorts, but not a real multiverse, and that we are all in the egg sac of Egg Mother. And each of Egg Mother's eggs is a universe. And each one of our universes that we live in, if hatched in the proper receptacle, will hatch. What comes out of a universe that hatches? I don't know. I'm not that kind of being. What kind of person, thing is Egg Mother? Well, Egg Mother is basically just an insect in an overworld of sorts. She contains within her all these eggs, basically a parasitic being. Finds things, paralyzes them, inserts her eggs into them, stashes them away. The universes hatch, the beings come out and continue Egg Mother's life cycle. It is a 25 plus 4 dimensional being. You know, instead of just up, down, left, right, and all that, they have 22 other dimensions, and not just one flow of time, but 4 time senses, 2 of which are reversible at will. What kind of universe is that? I don't know. I'm a 3+1 person. 3 dimensions plus 1 for the single time stream we have. I don't know what kind of universe Egg Mother would live in. But within Egg Mother, of course, within all these, her egg sac, of which our universe is within, there are, of course, as natural parasitic infestations. Creatures that just live within Egg Mother and feed on the eggs. Our universe happens to be one with our physical laws provide a Faraday cage about us that we can't get out no information gets out, but just as luckily no information gets in. So there are these other universal beings within the egg sac that are feeding on universes. They can't feed on ones like ours, and only like 1 in a million is Faraday cage protected. So they just generally ignore those and feed on the others. Until one of them, in a kind of fit of boredom, like pressed its forehead against ours in a drunken stupor one Saturday, just going, let me in, and then found out to his amazement and surprise that someone did do something on the inside that managed to punch a hole through the Faraday cage. And now that they know it can be done, they're going to keep poking holes in the cage until eventually they can just rip the cage apart. And then our universe is like all the others, unprotected. There aren't an infinite number, but even if there were 10 trillion beings destroying 10 trillion universes per femtosecond, and there are more femtoseconds in 1 second than there are 1 normal seconds between now and 65 million years ago when the dinosaurs died, even if they destroy 10 trillion universes per femtosecond, each of these 10 trillion beings, by the time that they were done in 10 trillion years doing that, they still would have only destroyed 0.0 add a trillion zeros, 1% of 1% of all the eggs within Egg Mother. So, hey, what do you say? And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. Thank you so very much. It is appreciated. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. It is a range of 20 to 25 because even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my fibro depression and a whole bunch of stuff, I'm terrible. Getting a lot better, but still not wonderful. And of course, I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. So a good comment, a bad comment, and a different comment. Just thank you for having left a comment. Calling up my Chrome here. We have the Derpiest Wolf. Thank you very, very much. And Flufa, heck of a name. Thank you. Rose Eve, greatly appreciated. Daniel Shack, thumbs up and thank you. And then Deception Rescuin. Oh, that's a heck of a name. Thank you very much. And Kathy Kisscat, greatly appreciated. Siski the Crab, thumbs up. And then we have Robert Gearhart, thumbs up and thank you. Cade Hicks, greatly appreciated. Drew's Will to Play Simpson, thumbs up. Brooklyn Turner, thank you. Jeff Bell, greatly appreciated. Pre-call Overwatch, thumbs up and thank you. And Mika Mach 5, always good to see you in the comments, thank you. Chris with an apostrophe, good to see you too. And of course Tundra Keeper, yay, thumbs up and thank you. Then we have Jurassic Memes 21, greatly appreciate. Colin Reisenauer, who especially appears to be, not especially, but appears to be still dealing with snow in Kennewick, Washington. And then of course there's Vontae Cordova, greatly appreciated. And Furkan de Cartlar, I think it is. Thank you very, very much. Arthur Arum, greatly appreciated. Random 44, thumbs up and thank you. See if I can find any others because I've run out of time. Not time, but comments. Jordan Yakima, thank you very, very much. And gosh, golly gee whiz, Pandora NYC1, thank you very, very much. And last but not least, Mystique1, greatly appreciated. Ooh, I was starting to think I was going to run out there. Thank you all so very much. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and that is a very good thing. If you can check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, that would be very cool. Greatly appreciated. I would understand if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, but if you could, like one of these beautiful and awesome Patreon.com patrons, that would be beautiful and awesome. But if you cannot donate, and you could, yeah, I already said that. So if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very awesome and greatly appreciated. Now, I would understand if you did not wish to. I'm just a weird older guy, but thank you so very much to each and every one of you who does subscribe. This channel has saved my life, and by extension, that means each and every one of you that has watched my videos has helped save my life. Thank you very much. My depression after the death of my wife was such that I was on my way out, and I started my channel in desperation, a lifeline to save my own life, and I'm still here, so thank you, each and every one of you. It is appreciated. Now, I'm going to have a reaction video today. I really doubt it. It depends on my emotional status, so I don't even know. But you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. Indeed. My arm barely hurts anymore. In fact, when I first did that, it was just awful. Now, barely hurts. Thumbs up.